Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're just gonna chill this week because I am so sick and tired of packing and cleaning and just all of the moving prep. I'm literally so sick of it, and we're getting really close, so there's really also not a whole lot left to do until like literally the week that we're moving. We're doing a Q&A this week to keep me from burning out. So obviously, like always, I went on Instagram, asked you guys to ask me questions. I told you to ask me anything and everything. I want it to be juicy, I want it to be interesting, and you delivered. You delivered. So I'm just gonna go through them. The first one we're gonna do, it says, how are you despite being stressed about the move? Starting off easy. Thank you for checking on me. I'm doing good. Honestly, like if it weren't for the stress of the move, I think everything would be like smooth sailing right now. Like mentally, like mental health wise, I'm doing really good. I've been really good this go round of postpartum, making sure to protect my peace and saying goodbye to things that are hurting me, or you know, just kind of like silencing the noise that makes things hard. It's just been a lot better this time. There was like a little bit there, literally the smallest amount, where I was like, am I getting depressed again? But it was just PMS. I got my period and then I was all good. So I've just been, you know, getting to know my body, learning my body, my hormonal changes and things like that, which has been helping a lot, because kind of understanding the why behind why you feel a certain way can help you not spiral into thinking something's worse than it is, if that makes any sense. I feel like that sounds a little dismissive, which isn't what I'm trying to do, but there's some truth to it. And I have very like aggressive hormones, if that makes sense. Like when my hormones like skyrocket or crash, like it really fucks with me. So learning that about myself has also helped. But yeah, I've been doing really good. I'm ready for this move to be over so that I'm not so stressed about that. But if it wasn't for that, I would be chef's kiss amazing. So yeah. What are your top 3 struggles with motherhood? You inspire me so much, by the way. Thank you so much. My top 3 struggles are probably patience. It's really hard for me to have patience and like regulate my own emotions when a situation is frustrating me. That's something I am working on every day, and probably everybody else too. I mean, it's hard. I also struggle with kind of like breaking the generational curse, like the generational things like that I grew up with that I don't want to do with my kids is hard. Like there's a lot of things in like everyday language that I try to replace, you know, with more, I don't know the word for it, but just with more respectful phrases, you know. And I try to respond and not react, if that makes any sense. So things like that are a little bit hard. A lot of it is just learning the kind of parent that I want to be, you know. And then I guess I would say my last big struggle is like overstimulation or being touched out. Like whenever that happens, it's so hard for me to figure out how to like decompress my brain, you know, like just kind of reset. It's so hard because especially when you have 2 young kids, there's almost always somebody on you at all times, and it's really hard whenever I'm, you know, trying to cater to my youngest and then my oldest is trying to climb all over me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, get off of me. So sometimes it's been really important for me to kind of force myself to just take a step away and put them in a place that I know they're safe. Sometimes I'll put Graham in his crib with some toys and he'll just play in there with his toys, and I'll set Bentley up with the TV and I'll just like take a beat. And sometimes that's really all it takes for me to regroup. But a big one that I do is I get in the car and I just go for a drive, because nobody can touch me. They're in their car seats. I know that they're fully safe and, you know, whatever, and I can just drive, listen to a little bit of music and just kind of reset, and that helps me a lot. Now, paying for the gas on that, not so fun, but if it works, it works. What's your favorite thing about being a mom, specifically of 2? I think my favorite thing is watching them create their bond. And like the older Graham gets, like he wants to play with Bentley, and Bentley loves him so much, and he's always trying to like give him hugs and kisses and always wants to help, and he gets so excited when Graham wakes up from a nap and things like that. Like just watching their bond grow and watching the way that they love each other is so special to me, especially because my brother and I did not have a good relationship. So I'm gonna be doing everything in my power to make sure that these boys have a good relationship and they love each other and they understand that it's okay to, you know, be upset, but it's not okay to be disrespectful, and just things like that. Like I really want to raise them to just love each other, and I want to be a close family. My family just was not a super close family. It's just been really special to watch their bond grow and blossom, and it's only going to get, you know, more intense. What is the hardest part about moving with kids and animals? I don't even know how to answer that, because I think that if it was just me and Charles, it'd be really easy. We'd pack our shit and we would just drive, and we'd probably just do it in one shot and just take turns, and whoever wasn't driving would be sleeping, and we'd get there really fast. So in that sense, maybe I would say the fact that the travel itself is going to take so much longer because we have to make so many stops for eating and for diaper changes and for letting the animals go to the bathroom and eat and drink and things like that. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of extra stops because of it that's going to make it take longer. But other than that, I would say that at least in terms of kids, there's so much that you can't pack until like the day you leave, because kids need so much. Like, they need their toys, they need their diapers, their clothes, burp cloths. I mean, there's so much that you can't put away. And then also, at least specifically my kid Bentley, the oldest, he doesn't like change. He gets it from his dad. Like, Charles is very like, change just overwhelms him. He likes what's like the norm and it needs to stay consistent, and that's what is comfortable, you know. And Bentley is very much so the same way. Like, if we even rearrange the room, he freaks out and it messes with sleep. So I think it's also been a little bit difficult having everybody's anxiety levels a little high. The dogs are the same way. They know something's going on. The house is getting empty, things are getting boxed up, and the dogs and the kids can both tell, and people, the house is just a little more high strung. That's been a little bit difficult, but I know it'll be over soon and we'll adjust to the new place, and then we won't have to do it again. So how did you get B and G to share a room? I need tips. Mine will be 2 in 6 months. Well, we kind of just like went for it. I mean, when we first had Graham, he's been in a bassinet in our room for like the longest, right? I think he was around like 4 or 5 months old when we really started putting him in the crib in the kids' room. We just did it one night and we're like, okay, we'll see how it goes. You know, it's either gonna be fine or it's gonna be horrible. Those are the options, you know? So we just kind of did it. And obviously whenever Graham would wake up crying to eat or whatever, it would wake Bentley up. But Bentley surprisingly did really well just, you know, going back to sleep after. And then now that it's been a while of doing that, Bentley understands like, okay, Graham's gonna start crying. Mom or dad is gonna come in and they're gonna help him, and then they're gonna leave and it's still time for me to sleep. So he's gotten very used to the fact that that's like the new routine. So he really doesn't freak out. And honestly, Bentley making noise doesn't really wake Graham up. Graham sleeps through a lot because he's so used to the noise and the chaos, and Bentley almost kind of like he just looks at the door whenever Graham wakes up, and it's like he's thinking, Mom, Dad, like, come do something about it, make him be quiet, you know? So really, I mean, they do really well, but I don't really have any tips because there's nothing we really did to ease into that. Like, we just full sent and just did it. And the best thing that I could say is to just have patience and consistency and let them get used to it and understand that that's like the new norm. Hardest part of 2 under 2 right now, I have to say, for me personally in my life right now, it's just the move. It's very hard to give both of them the attention that they need while also doing all of the packing and the cleaning and things that need to get done. So there are some days at the end of the day that I feel guilty and I'm like, I feel like I didn't do enough with the kids today or things like that. And so that's been a little hard for me. And then also whenever they have days where like I don't have a choice, I have to be with them because either somebody is sick or somebody's just being extra sensitive or clingy or whatever, then at the end of the day I'm guilty and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't get anything done to prepare for the move. So it's been really hard to kind of balance that right now. I've just been kind of trying to schedule things, and like I have like the beginning of the day I do my cleaning, and then the middle of the day I spend with the kids, and then the end of the day I do some packing or whatever, you know? So I've just been trying to break it up so that I don't feel like I have to do everything all the time, and I guess that's been helping. Top shows I could binge over and over, I don't know. I'm not much of a rewatcher, to be honest. Like, I watch something once and then I'm like, I'm good, because when I watch it again it's never like as good as the first time because you know what's gonna happen. But I will say that my favorite shows just like ever, love Grey's Anatomy, always gonna be a Grey's Anatomy fan. The Rookie, oh my gosh, The Rookie is so good. If you have not watched The Rookie, literally go watch it. It's so good. We were so hooked and I can't wait for the next season to come out. But right now we're watching La Brea. It's all right. I mean, I'm getting into it, but some of the acting is a little bit rough, at least to me personally. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I just laugh because I'm like, come on, that was a little rough. Yeah, I mean, I love first responder television. Like, I love hospital stuff and like police stuff. That stuff just interests me. So I don't know, but definitely like my top favorite show in the last, like, I don't even know how long, has been The Rookie. Like, that show is so good. How is your walk with God going? How can I be praying for you? That is such a precious question. My walk with God is going good. There was a while, within the last 5 years, there was a bit that I got a little bit disconnected, and I recently, in the past year or more, have come back to God, which is amazing. I mean, I've always been a Christian. I've always believed in God. I've always things like that, but I wasn't pursuing him in the way that I should, you know? And so I have been doing a lot better with that lately, and there's a lot of things that I just look around and I'm like, wow, God did that. Or like things that happen in our life where I'm like, that would not have happened without God. And I've just been praying a lot more and talking to him a lot more, and it's been really, really good. So thank you for asking. Things that you could pray for, really just safe travels and as smooth as possible of a move. That is like the top forefront thing on my brain right now, is constantly just the move, the move, the move, the move. Prayers about, you know, peace of mind and that just to all go smoothly would be so greatly appreciated. What's your fave quick and easy meal for you or for you and the kids? So for the kids, I love to have fruit cups. I mean, it's better to have normal fruit. I do regular like fruit produce in the morning. Like we always have strawberries and blackberries, but fruit cups are really also good for like lunch and stuff. Like I love the convenience of it. And frozen vegetables. For a little while I did chicken nuggets for Bentley because he liked it for a little bit. Now he hates it, but I don't know. I'm not a very good cook, so anything that can be prepped very quickly and easily, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a grilled cheese, a quesadilla, like those are the things that I go for because that's like what I can handle. And then Charles makes like dinner at night, and then a lot of times we'll do leftovers throughout the day the next day. So I don't have a very good one for that because I literally don't cook. Do you have any other interests besides drawing and singing? I feel like I have a lot of interests. A huge interest that's not drawing or singing is photography. I used to be so into photography, and I mean I still am, but I used to do like senior portraits for people. I always wanted to do like wedding photography and things like that. I still love photography. I don't currently have the means to pursue that in the best way. Like I need to get a new camera, a new lens, like things like that. But I really, really love photography, and I really want to get back into it and get like more creative or better quality photos on Instagram. Obviously I love the like iPhone, like real life everyday pictures too, but I also like to be artistic with it, and I do miss photography a lot. And yeah, photography is probably the top thing that comes to my head. Other than drawing and singing, I would say photography. I don't know what else. I mean, obviously I'm into fitness. I love the outdoors. I can't wait to be in New Hampshire and go hiking and go to the lake and things like that. But yeah, I would say the biggest one that isn't something I really talk about a ton would be photography, and one day I'm gonna get back into it. What are your thoughts on the cry it out method? Well, my thoughts on that are kind of complicated. I think that it's gotten way too much hate online, and I think that people need to just like zip it because it's literally recommended by doctors. Like they wouldn't recommend it for no reason. I think that every baby gets to a point that they need to just learn to sleep, and some people won't have to use the cry it out method and some people will, and I think to each their own. I think it's your baby. You know your baby better than anybody else knows your baby. It's nobody else's place to tell you what to do. If your doctor is okay with it, nobody else should have a problem with it. You know, it's none of their business at the end of the day. But I think that there's a lot of different versions of cry it out. You know, there's the Ferber method, and then there's just like blatantly letting them cry for hours. I really don't think that anybody is letting their kid just cry for like 5 hours. Nobody's doing that, and that's what people seem to think when they start talking about cry it out. They're like, oh, you just let your baby cry for hours and hours and hours. Nobody's doing that. I just think that it's complicated. I think that everybody's situation is unique to them, and whatever you think is best or whatever you need to try to get sleep is what you should do, because a sleep deprived mother isn't what anybody needs, you know? Eventually your baby's gonna have to learn how to sleep without being on you. Like everybody reaches a point, you know? So if you feel like you need to do the cry it out method, then just do it. Don't fucking worry about what anybody else is gonna say, because it's not their kid and it's not their life, and your doctor doesn't have a problem with it, then nobody else should. I never really talk about what we do, and I'm really still not gonna, because whether I said we rock them to sleep all night or whether I said we did cry it out, people would have a problem with it, and it's just like, it just doesn't matter. It's nobody's business. But we have just created our own concoction of sleep stuff through a million different methods, and you could do something like that too. Like you don't have to do any one thing. You can do a combination of things that works for you, if that makes any sense. What was harder, going from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2? Absolutely going from 0 to 1. Going from 0 to 1 was so hard. Your entire world changes. Everything is different. You don't know what you're doing. Everything is new. There's no way that you could possibly have expectations for everything. It's way harder. When you're going from 1 to 2, you know what you're doing. You've been through some of these things before. There's not as many like blindsiding moments, you know? It's way better. It's way better, at least for me. What are you looking forward to the most about moving to New Hampshire? It's one of my faves. I'm looking forward to so much. I'm looking forward to having a garage, having a backyard, having mountains nearby, having real winters, being being able to like go skiing, snowmobiling, go to the lake in the summer, go on hikes when it's nice and warm outside. Like I am so excited for so many things. What has been the hardest thing to say goodbye to while moving? I think the hardest thing to say goodbye to in a weird way is the memories. I met my husband here. I got married to him here. I had both of my babies here. Brought them both home to this house. So much has changed here. So much about my like character development in life has happened here. This has been such a tremendous part of my life, and so it's just really hard to kind of say goodbye to that. I only have literally one friend here, so it's not like I have to leave like it's not like I have a ton of friends like here to say goodbye to, but I have a friend in Texas. She's coming up to visit next week to say goodbye, and then I'll be having like a going away party with my friend that is here in Oklahoma, and we're moving away from my in-laws and also my dad who is in Texas. So it's hard to say goodbye to family and stuff, but I think for me personally it's been harder to say goodbye to all of the memories that are here. Even though memories come with you, it's just it's gonna be really bittersweet, and whenever it is empty and we're driving away, I already know that I'm just gonna sob. Oh my gosh, losing your V-card story. Well, I was 16. Don't recommend that. Don't recommend that. And if you guys have been around for a while, you've probably heard me talk about my abusive ex-boyfriend, and it was him that I lost my V-card to. It was really before it got super abusive, but he started using that in an abusive way. He started hitting me, shoving me, emotionally abusing me, manipulating me, like all kinds of things. But when I actually lost my V-card, it was in his car at a lake, like kind of buried in like the trees type of thing, but in the car. And I mean, it was good, I guess, at the time. Like, it was all right. I don't know, I don't really know what to say about it. I don't really think about it that much, but that's what it was. I was 16. It was in the car at a lake. Do you guys want to try for a girl? Yes and no. I mean, obviously there's no guarantee that you'd have a girl, so it wouldn't really be trying for a girl, it would just be trying for another baby. But I think there's always going to be a part of me that like wants to have a girl, but I don't really know if I really want another baby. Like, I just don't know. Right now, I just don't know. If it were to happen and we were to be like surprised with another baby and have an unplanned pregnancy, I mean, we're using protection and everything right now, which we weren't doing for our last 2 kids. So we are being preventative, but if it were to happen, then I would still be happy, you know. It's all in God's plan. I'd be happy, you know, but I don't think that anytime soon we would be actively trying. I don't know. It's hard to answer that because right now we just have so much going on that it's like the thought is like terrifying, but you can't really try for a girl, you know. So I don't know if I can say that we would try for a girl. Maybe eventually down the road, maybe we would try for another baby, and if it's a girl, awesome. If it's a boy, awesome. I'm very content with our 2 boys right now. Favorite thing to draw? My favorite thing to draw is actually spicy pictures, like sexual pictures, intimacy pictures. I don't know why, but it's just so fun, and it also helps me kind of get a better understanding of drawing human anatomy and like drawing like bodies and stuff like that. So that's been really fun. I like to draw in like the outline style. Like, I don't really like to do like the hyper realism or like super detailed stuff. Like, I like to just do like the very simple and minimal like line work and stuff like that. I just like that right now. That's what I've been into. I've done all different kinds of art, but that's what I have really been resonating with right now. I'll show you. This is like what I mean by like the intimate drawings. I'll just like put one on the screen. Probably gonna get demonetized. How are you overcoming the fears of having to make friends in a place you've never been? Ooh, that is something I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about how, you know, when we get there, we're not gonna know anybody. We're gonna know my mom. I've been talking to my husband, and we're gonna try to just be social, you know, like when we go out, you know, maybe we can talk to people. I don't know, we're just gonna have to step out of our comfort zone and just talk to people and be honest with people. Be like, look, we just moved here, like we're looking to make some friends, like if you guys, you know, want to be our friend, let us know. Like, it's gonna be very elementary school. It's gonna be like, hi, do you want to be my friend? Yeah, we're just gonna have to put ourselves out there, you know. If we're going on hikes and we see somebody, you know, like start having some friendly chatter and see, you know, pick up the vibes. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely nervous about it, but at the same time, I've lived here in Oklahoma for like 5 years and haven't really had friends here for the whole time I've been here. So, and the one friend I do have, I hardly ever really hang out with because our schedules just don't align. So I think I'll be okay, but it is daunting to think about. Any tips to help with toddler speech? I would just say literally talking all the time. Talk to them all the time. Everything you're doing, narrate it. Anytime that they're pointing at something or touching something, tell them what that something is. If they're displaying an emotion, tell them what that emotion is. Like literally narrating everything is my best advice, and to not do it in baby talk. Like talk to them like they're any other person, not a baby, you know, because that's how they learn what words really sound like. What's your biggest fear? I couldn't possibly tell you. I'm terrified of so many things. I'm a very anxious person. I have absolutely no idea what my biggest fear is, but I am petrified of so many things. I mean, terrified of the ocean, terrified of travel, like going on planes. I hate it so much. I'll never fly over the ocean. I'm terrified of spiders. Really a lot of bugs. I'm terrified of a lot of things, okay? If you weren't a mom right now, what do you think your life would look like? I have no idea. Honestly, probably rough. Like probably rough. I don't even want to know, to be honest with you. Like all I ever wanted to be was a mom. So let me go get Graham. He just woke up. He still had some of his bottle left, so now he's eating that. Okay, yeah, I don't really want to know what my life would look like if I wasn't a mom, honestly, because being a mom is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I would probably still be smoking a lot of weed and working some weird, dumb restaurant waitress, Sonic car hop type job, and not really having much drive in life. But advice for a healthy and enjoyable sex life with your partner struggling recently. I would say that you need to get to know your body. A lot can change after having a baby. I don't know if you've had a baby or not, but for me at least, a lot changed, and I'm not as spontaneous anymore. And especially when you're exhausted or touched out or whatever, it can be hard to kind of want to do that. Something I've learned about myself, at least now, is I'm a very responsive person. It's not like I can just think of sex and be like, yep, let's go, I'm ready, give me that dick. But if I give it a chance, you know, then once I'm having that like bodily stimulation and, you know, like kissing and doing other things, then my body's like, okay, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Giving it a chance has helped. And then kind of once we're doing it, then I want to do it more. And so it's like it helps keep up like momentum, I guess you would say. Like when we do it one day, then the next day I'm like, okay, I want to do it. That sounds good. That was fun. That felt good. Whatever. So I would just say like giving it a chance, but also something that my husband and I started doing was getting to know each other as sexual partners, if that makes sense. So whenever we would be done doing the deed, immediately after, when we're like cuddling and stuff, we would talk about the things that we really liked from it, or things that we didn't care for, and that has helped us, you know, figure out what each other likes and do better the next time and things like that. Like it's just helped our relationship a lot. So which app do you register for music to use for YouTube? I want to be a YouTuber too. Can you share your experience? I don't have an app that I register. I just literally search copyright free music on either on YouTube or on Google. A lot of the stuff I use is from, I think it's called No Copyright Vlog Music or something, and they share all kinds of music, and then in the description they tell you how to credit that music to not demonetize your stuff and whatever, to give proper credits. So that's typically what I use, is I use that music and I put the credits in my description, and I haven't had any problems with it. So I do that. There's also on YouTube, like YouTube Studio, there's an audio library which you can also pull music from and like download the music, and all of the stuff in the YouTube Studio is copyright free. So that's what I've done. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in life and with your business? I don't know, honestly. In 5 years, I really don't know if I'm going to be doing social media stuff and like starting my own business, or if I'm going to be pursuing real estate. I've really been questioning pursuing real estate and getting back to kind of having a normal life. I don't know. I just hope that in 5 years we are even more financially stable than we are now. I hope that we are successful and comfortable, and I just want to be able to give my kids everything they want. Would you consider going back to school for art? Honestly, no. I think that it's a little bit pointless. There's not really much you can do with like an art degree. If I wanted to do art, I would just start like an Etsy selling my art. Like I don't know. I just don't find it necessary, and it's a waste of money. I've already paid off my student loans from the college that I did go to, and I just don't want more of that crap. And if I did anything, it would be getting my real estate license. Did having babies affect your marriage, and if so, how'd you adapt to it? It definitely did, but not so much this time as the first time. I think when you go from not having any kids to then having a kid, you both have to learn how to parent together, and one of you may do something the other doesn't like, and that's a lot to adjust to, and then you're both stressed and exhausted, and it definitely affects your marriage. That's why I'll never understand why people will have a baby to try to save a marriage, because having a baby puts a strain on a good, healthy marriage. So it definitely was hard. I mean, how we adapted to it, we just had a lot of conversations, and we talked about things and figured out where we could meet in the middle, and just gave it time, you know? What's something you do for yourself that makes you feel like yourself outside of motherhood? Definitely all of my side hobbies. Drawing, singing, writing songs, that kind of stuff. It really keeps me connected to myself and my roots and the things that I loved beforehand. So taking the time to pour into that cup definitely helps. Was there ever a time that you thought you and Charles wouldn't work out? How did you overcome? Honestly, no. Like, from when we actually started dating till like now, there's never been anything where it's like, oh, I don't know about this, like this isn't gonna work. We've never really had that. We've always had a pretty good relationship. I mean, we used to fight a little bit when we were just like still kind of adjusting to like living together, and it really was more so when I stopped working like out of the house and I was home all the time, and I would get really frustrated about the mess and feeling like I was a maid or things like that. We've worked through all of that, and we really don't fight anymore. I can't even remember the last time we had a fight. So I think it all just comes with communication, but there's never really been a time that either one of us were like, I don't know if this is gonna work. What are your fave at-home date things to do when you can't find childcare to go out? We literally just drink at home. Like, this is gonna sound so, I don't know, whatever, but when we can't get anybody to watch the kids, we literally will just have some drinks at home when the kids are in bed, and we have sex. That's our date night. We'll watch movies, we'll have sex. Outside of being a wife and mom, what is your drive for life? I'm struggling finding mine again. I don't know. I mean, and my kids and husband drive me a lot, but I think it also is just like a sense of self-accomplishment, and I want to be successful, and if anything ever were to, God forbid, happen to my husband, like I want to be able to live a sustaining life, and I don't, you know, like I want to be successful so that I don't have to depend on anybody, if that makes any sense. How's your fitness journey going? Well, lately a little bit rough because I can't work out, and it's very limited what we can eat because, well, our whole kitchen is packed and there's a lot of stress about the move. So right now it's kind of on the back burner, but I plan on getting back into it once we get moved. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to end this video here because my camera is about to die, and I feel like we answered a lot of questions and I feel like I've been rambling, so I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for taking a chill pill with me this week because I really did not want to clean. I love you guys, and I will see you next week.